know what the world needs now? Mythbusters. There's a lot of myths.
There is. There's a lot of like mistruth happening.
And right now, our strategy of just like telling people and showing the data, that's not working.
Yeah.
You know what we need? Explosions and such.
Yeah.
Bring back the Mythbusters.
That's fun.
People were listening to them.
Yes. People went there as like a serious source of information.
Yeah. Well, they were legitimately testing things.
Yeah.
So I think we need to bring them back. That's what the world needs now. Those guys are great.
I agree.
But one of them died.
Did they?
Yeah. Grant. I think Grant died.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Now
Grant
I'm
Imahara.
really sad for them.
All right. Well, this one's for you, Grant. This one
Whatever your name is.
An episode of I Love This, You Should Too. My name is Indy Mythbustin' Randhawa, and with me is my lovely co-host, Samantha Blanket in Summer Randhawa.
It's surprisingly chilly in the house, and I'm into it.
Oh, and by the time this comes out, it'll be fall, so it'll be
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just autumnal. It's great.
so autumnal, as this episode will be. Just think fall vibes.
We're just really putting on a fall vibe today.
This might be coming out on my birthday.
Oh,
I don't
happy
know.
birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday me. Give me cash if you see me.
Wish Indy a happy birthday and give him cash.
So what are we doing today, Sam?
It is a pre-episode, and we will both be having a spoiler-free thing of the fortnight, and then Indy will reveal what our big watch is for next week.
Yeah, because we don't explain the show very often, because I assume like the two people who listen are the same too. We have different tastes and stuff. We take turns bringing something that the other person hasn't watched or listened to or eaten.
Yeah.
And it's my turn to pick, but I'm not going to tell you what it is for a little bit. Oh, no, wait, you know, because it's in the title of this episode.
It's in the title of this episode.
And this time Sam actually knows too. It's a little different. But either way, let's get into it. I'll start. My thing of the fortnight is the Comedy Central and then HBO Max and then just Max and then HBO Max again. They changed the name back because it wasn't catching on.
Oh, yeah, HBO is like your original brand. You can't get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, they want it to be minimalistic like everything does
Like
now.
Bloop and Bleep and Scoot.
Oh, yeah. Scoot.
Scoot's my favorite.
That's Galen's favorite game of discount airline or streaming service.
Yes.
I feel like you could add in laundry detergent.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Oh, I love Fizz.
Yeah.
I flew on Fizz here.
Yeah. I watched Fizz for like 7 hours yesterday.
Well, they have all those garbage reality shows
yeah,
that are fun.
exactly. Could be any of them.
Hot on Fizz.
So what's your thing?
Oh, yeah, it's the other two. I didn't say the title. The other two. It's a show. Sam knows all about this one, actually.
I do because I watched it with you.
I can't remember who told me about the show. At first I thought, oh, it's the creators. I've liked other things of theirs, but I don't know if that's it. Maybe it was Jason Mantzoukas talking about how it took a weird turn and then got into magical realism.
It really did.
But if you are not familiar, it is a sitcom, I guess. It's a comedy show, but it does get dramatic here and there, but not consistently.
No.
They really pick their points of when they want to be real sad and real dark, and then they might not for a while again.
Yeah. It's kind of all over the place.
It really was. So the show revolves around a teenage boy named Chase. He goes by Chase Dreams, and he's a Justin Bieber-like viral teen pop sensation.
Yes.
But the show's not about him. It's about the other two siblings. The other two siblings are his sister, Brooke, played by Helene York, and she was a former professional dancer, I think, but that's not really much of her character. Most of the show is about her trying to find what her job and calling is going to be. And Chase's older brother, Carrie, played by Drew Tarver, and he is an aspiring actor who is, when we first meet him, really struggling to find any sort of work, and then gets work that he doesn't want, and it mostly revolves around the two of them. They're the titular other two. Chase is in it a good bit as well. He is played by someone named, I think, Case? Is Case a name? Or did I just mistype Chase and I mistyped it because that's not even the actor's name, but rather the character? And Molly Shannon plays their mom. And then she goes on to have a whole arc of her own. She's kind of smaller in the first season. A lot of the characters change after the first season. Really, everything changes after the second season.
It really does, yeah.
And then Ken Marino is in it as well. Ken Marino is one of those guys that's in so many things I love, but is never my favorite part of the thing.
Yeah.
But he's always there.
He's always there.
He's always good.
I enjoyed him.
Ken Marino plays Streeter Peter Peters. That's his full name.
Just so funny.
And then there's smaller roles. Brandon Scott Jones plays Carrie's friend Curtis, and Josh Segarra plays Lance Arroyo, who's Brooke's pretty great, sometimes boyfriend.
Yeah, I really enjoyed him.
He was an actor that we saw him in, what's that? Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary, that's right.
And I didn't love him in that, but in this...
this, I feel like they really let him like stretch his legs and like do a thing.
Yeah.
And he went all the way with it, and it worked because he was endearing, ridiculous, and just like fun.
Yeah.
And I really thought that he did a good job. I really like him.
So the show is created and written by Chris Kelly and Sarah Schneider, and I think Schneider directs a good bit of it as well, but don't quote me on that. And they are a pair that have worked on all sorts of things before moving to Saturday Night Live, where they wrote for many years, and then they came up with a show. And you can tell that they're people who've kind of worked in this industry because they're clearly inspired by their own lives. And the first season really does a good job of establishing these characters. It's really funny. It gets into a lot of the same things I loved about 30 Rock as well. Mm-hmm. We'll save the third season because that's its own thing. What did you think of the first two?
The first two seasons were fun. I felt like they didn't get as wacky or crazy as the last two seasons, but I liked it because it seemed like something that the like family might actually go through.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. There's one thing which I'm going to talk in a roundabout way, which doesn't help the audience that much. Oh, does it? We'll see. We see a lot of things of these two main characters, them kind of wrestling with their jealousy or their desperation, watching their younger brother who really hasn't put in any work be very, very successful, and they're really struggling, and they sometimes put in a lot of work, sometimes not as much. Sometimes they're just angry for no reason.
Yeah.
And every now and then maybe they'll try to ride his coattails, maybe they're trying to break out on their own in increasingly ridiculous ways. And I think it's in the second season, there's a big reveal of something that's been talked about for a long time, but we don't get to know what exactly happens. And when that is revealed, it's something that was truly heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. But the nature of it and how it's revealed, and they do this thing where, I'm not going to tell you the joke, of course, but they get increasingly more absurd and silly, and it tricks you into laughing at something, which is one of the saddest, most disturbing things. And they find a way to make that a joke. Not the thing happening. The tragedy isn't the joke, but then what they do with it. And that was the point where I turned to you and I was like, this is brilliant writing. Like, it seems like they were, you know how a good singer will go and like do all of this nonsense Mariah Carey style in the middle of a note.
Riffs.
Yeah, and I often like, just sing the note. But they're showing you, like, look at all these things I can do just because I can. Mm-hmm. I felt this was the comedic writing equivalent of that. They didn't need to make something so sad and then make you laugh at it. But they're like, watch me.
Watch me.
And they did,
Here we go.
and it was great.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, I felt like they took most of the jokes to like 4 levels farther than a normal show would have.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of the time it paid off.
Yeah, it starts out with humor that's more in line with like Parks and Rec, where it's our world, but a little more heightened.
Yeah.
And then it gets into things like It's Always Sunny, where you're like, oh, these people are terrible, but that is the joke. I'm not forced to like them. They are saying that these are bad people, so it's fine to laugh at all of this. And then it gets into, it gets more satirical, especially about show business. Like there's this bit where he hosts a show called Age Net Worth Feet.
Yeah.
Where they just say like, how old are you? And then you say how old you are. And they're like, what's your net worth? And he goes, 2 billion. And he goes, let me see those feet. And then you just show your feet.
Yeah.
That's the show.
And then you move on down the red carpet.
And how there's a character who's in a Disney show and they're going to say, we're going to have the first unapologetically gay character. And it's just like a gelatinous goo that has no gender or sexuality. And they're like, this buddy is gay. So
it has eyes
progress,
and a mouth,
right?
and that's it.
Does it have eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Globby? Globby has eyes.
Okay, I didn't know that. He's just a glob. But it gets really satirical. And that really takes off in the third season, because in the third season, it came back after a COVID break. So it's off for like maybe 3 years or something. And it came back and just said, well, let's just do something different.
Yeah.
And it starts taking real big swings. It gets into stylized episodes or sequences. Like there's one that was kind of an homage to Pleasantville, and it's black and white and people learning things and gaining color. And it gets into straight up magical realism, and it gets dark at times. Very, very dark, and sometimes not for a joke.
Oh, yeah.
And then that somehow was funny too. But either way, I think this is a very good show. It's fun, and when I start talking about things like magical realism, that's might put people off, but 30 Rock has magical realism in it. It just means that things are heightened to something beyond our world, and it's something they never did in the first 2 seasons, and then they just go for it in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels even crazier, which is awesome, because it was like, oh, I guess now we're going here, and you kind of just have to like give yourself up to it and enjoy the ride. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you like how things changed stylistically in the third, or did you prefer the first 2?
I think I preferred the first 2, but it was fun to see them like post-pandemic talking about like what they had gone through and like things that happened, and like alluding to a bunch of stuff that had happened, but like not actually telling you. And I just thought that it was like a fun journey to see how people changed during the pandemic, and how these people who were like already kind of wacky changed.
I'm not sure if I liked the first 2 or the third more. I think I might end up watching the show again in a while, because it is only 30 episodes, 10 episodes per season. And go watch it. I think it's still on Max or HBO Max or whatever that thing's called. I don't know. It's somewhere. Go check it out. Its third season got nominated, I think, for the Best Writing in Comedy Emmy.
I think it's called Floop.
It's on Floop?
Yeah, it's on Floop.
Okay, it's streaming on Floop. That's actually an airline where you can watch episodes.
Oh yeah, you have to be on a flight to watch all the Floop shows.
Yeah, it only goes in and out of SeaTac. So Seattle, Tacoma. If you're going there, watch it on your Floop flight.
Floop flight.
All right, Floop flight. What do you got for your thing of the fortnight?
I read this book in the spring, and it kind of stayed with me, and I really enjoyed the content in it. It is about, so this is a nonfiction book that I listened to, which is kind of rare for me.
Very.
It's called Wanted, Toddler's Personal Assistant, How Nannying for the 1% Taught Me About the Myths of Equality, Motherhood, and the Upward Mobility in America. And it's by Stephanie Kiser. And Stephanie is a post-college young person who moves to New York City to pursue a career in writing, and she has to take on a nanny job in order to afford to live in New York, because it is very, very expensive. And she somehow gets into nannying for the super wealthy in New York. And she kind of starts out as like, if this was a rom-com, most characters do, being like, oh, this won't change me, and then realizing just how much it does change her when she realizes that she has let this job take over her life. She works in this area, or this lifestyle, for 7 years, and realizes that when the nanny world is done with her, she doesn't have much of a life to return to. And she realizes that she needs to write this book about nannying in order to like almost warn people that like you could get completely taken over by this job, and some like tips and tricks on how not to get completely sucked in. But also you get some really interesting insights into how the 1% live and the different kinds of family structures that exist when you have a high-powered working parent and maybe a stay-at-home parent, or two high-powered working parents. And so it's really interesting to see the differences in family structure based on this like super high net worth group of people. And I really enjoyed it. It was funny. It was a really interesting look into people who graduate and move to their dream city with like almost no plan. And then also you get a little bit of backstory about Stephanie and her past, and how it kind of causes her to make certain decisions along the way. So I really enjoyed it. It was quite heartwarming. It's really kind of like gossipy and fun at the same time. And you also get a really interesting look at American class system, I guess.
That sounds interesting, because I'd say 90% of the books you talk about, almost all of them are fiction, and it usually has a wealthy protagonist. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to be able to see that from the other side of someone kind of looking into that world. Mm-hmm. So does she get into those ideas of how upwards mobility is not as much of a thing as it once was, and all of those gates to keep other people out of that world?
Yeah, absolutely. And just how isolating it can be to work in those places, and how she learned the hard way that like her employees aren't her friends, and you can't become so attached to the children because it can all end in a second. And like just some really big growing up moments for her on how to like kind of handle herself as an adult. And so yeah, I really enjoyed it, because you get a really interesting look kind of behind the curtain.
Sounds interesting. And then I always have to ask, was this an audiobook?
It was an audiobook.
Was it the author reading?
Yes, it was.
And was that good?
I always enjoy when the author reads it, because I feel like it gives it a little bit more like emotion. And like for memoirs and stuff like this, I really think that when the author reads it, you get kind of the emotion behind it. Whereas if it's like an actor, or like no matter how good they end up doing it, you lose a little bit of the personality that comes along with these big name memoirs.
I'm glad it was, because I've listened to some audiobooks, and sometimes my nonfiction is more science-y, and when you get some of those writers reading it, it's not always the best.
Right.
But this one seems like it was a good one.
Yes, absolutely. I really, really enjoyed it, and I thought that it was worth talking about.
Glad you did. Can you give us the title and author one more time?
Absolutely.
Because it was a mouthful.
It's called Wanted, Toddler's Personal Assistant by Stephanie Kiser.
Oh, and there was more to the title, but that's the second subtitle.
It's like a subtitle, gotcha. Yeah. How Nannying for the 1% taught me about the myths of equality, motherhood, and upward mobility in America.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping to find more books that are kind of like in that vein. I thought it was really interesting.
Oh, let me get back to you. And you out there, get back to Sam as well.
Absolutely. Luckily, my husband's a librarian.
I love a good read-alike. I get that a lot of. I like this. What else will I like?
Yes, absolutely. So, Indy, it's time. What are we watching for next week?
Well, this one is a different one in a few ways. First, it's not old, and it's my pick. we're going to do a movie from this year.
What? You guys know how rare this is.
And second, Samantha already knows what it is.
I do. I may have actually requested it.
So we are going to watch K-Pop Demon Hunters.
Ooh.
Oh, she's shocked. So I talked about this on this show 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So you just heard me talk about it if you're listening to this. And although when it came out, Sam didn't have much interest in watching it, so I watched it alone. And since then, though, it's gotten into your world. Your world of...
I literally hear songs from this on my TikTok feed like 7 times a day now.
There you go.
I know all the words to Golden.
Me too.
I've never actually seen it.
So TikTok is doing what I can't and getting Sam to choose these movies. But then again, I would just force it on you at some point anyway, because that's the nature of this podcast.
Yep.
Forcing your love on your loved ones.
Yeah, exactly.
So K-Pop Demon Hunters, in case you, like Sam, are in that small fraction of people who have not seen it, is a 2025 animated musical movie, and action and comedy and some drama too.
It is the most watched Netflix movie ever.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. That's another thing I don't always bring. Mainstream.
It's like
That's
everybody has seen this and I need to see it now.
Mainstream Indy Randhawa.
Yeah.
Well, now you know I'm just going to have to punish you and we're going to have to watch something from the 1920s.
Why do you have to be punished? That's mean.
No, you have to do your work. This is the cake.
Okay.
We get to eat our broccoli later.
Oh,
and our broccoli is Fritz Lang's M.
Oh.
Actually, no, you'd be lucky to watch such a movie. It's fantastic. But we're not talking about Fritz Lang yet. So K-Pop Demon Hunters came out this year. It is available on Netflix. I talked about it just a couple of weeks ago, but what I really loved about this is, first off, as a musical, the songs are just fantastic. They are great songs. They seem like they could just stand on their own, and that if a band put that out, I'd be like, yep, this is good music.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like that.
Visually, it is stunning. It's from Sony Pictures Animation, the same house that did the Spider-Verse movies, which I think are some of the best looking movies of the last 10 years they've been coming out now.
I might agree with you on that, yeah.
And this is right up there. It takes its inspiration from so many different things, but I'm not going to break all that down now because we're going to have a whole episode for it.
Woo woo.
If you're someone who has not seen this movie and it's like, oh, that's not my kind of thing, I always want to ask why. Like, some people just don't like anything animated. You are usually one of those types, but this will be hopefully an exception because there are pretty rich people singing.
Oh, well, I love that.
I know you do. It's not a great title. That I'll give them. K-Pop Demon Hunters is not a very good title.
I did see a TikTok about like, oh, we should put this Netflix movie on because the person was trying not to say the title because it might turn their friends off.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's the most watched Netflix movie of all times. And they're like, oh, what's it called? And it's like, let me just put it on.
Yeah.
Don't look at the screen when the title flashes up.
It's a shame. It feels like they didn't have a lot of confidence in this movie because they didn't have a theatrical release, although now it's being released all over the world and for big sing-alongs. So it's made like $20 million in the last couple of weeks, and this is after everyone had seen it. So now they're going and watching it in theaters to watch it with a group because that probably seems like a lot of fun.
Oh, it does seem like a hit musical.
It really is. And then the title is just telling you, like, it's like the title of that book, right? It's just telling you what it is. And for books, they often have to do that. So you can look at the cover and judge a book by its cover.
Right.
So here they're saying, hey, it's K-pop and they're demon hunters. And you know what? It delivers what it promises.
Sounds like it. Do they have to dance a portal closed?
You know what? I think we're just going to watch the movie.
Okay. Because I feel like I've heard about that. Dancing.
You've heard about dancing? I've heard about it.
I've heard of dancing.
The premise is that demons are real. This takes a lot from Korean folklore, and I'm kind of uniquely qualified to talk about that because I've read a lot of books about Korean folklore. So that'll be fun. We can talk about that. In this world, the demon hunters are based in music. So they've gone through the generations. And of course, the hunter of this generation in Korea would be K-pop stars. And that's what they are. So they get to battle some demons, they get to sing some songs, they get to eat some snacks. The animation is gorgeous and hilarious. There are really solid jokes in it too. So if you have not seen this movie, I feel like everything you could be hesitant about, don't be. It's legitimately good. I'm the grumpy one on this show. That's like the snobby one. And I'm saying it's good stuff.
Well then.
Although you outsnobbed me on this one at first, but now you've come around.
Well, if everybody else likes it, I am a sheep.
No, I think what we've learned is on this show, I always pitch something and you're like, that sounds terrible. And then you usually end up really liking it.
It's true. It's very true. And I think I am ready to give in to K-Pop Demon Hunters.
Let's all give in to K-Pop Demon Hunters. It is on Netflix. If you go outside, it's probably playing in a theater right now.
Oh, probably, yeah.
You can go to one of those real fun sing-alongs, which if there's one, maybe we should do that. We'll see. We got time and there's one around. Sam's looking it up right now. We don't need to keep you updated on that part though. We're just going to say goodbye. We'll see you next week and we'll talk all about K-Pop Demon Hunters.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye everybody.